Hello, my name's JD, and the most common question I'm ever asked at meetings when I explain what I do is, so why do you use WordPress? In this presentation, I'd like to give you 10 reasons why I think WordPress is the right solution for most businesses. I'm going to give you the same issues that fix problems and challenges for the sites that we support, for those of our customers and those of our readership. So here are the 10 challenges. Firstly, people say they want a website that looks great, and before I can reply they always add, but within our budget. They want a site where they can add and edit content and not have to go back to web designers. They want the hosting costs for the website to be competitive and sensible for what they are using it for. They want to be able to add sophisticated features such as shopping carts, membership site easily. They want their system to be open, not tied into one specific supplier and a price scheme. If the worst happens, they want their system to be secure but recoverable from a failure. They want a package that is not expensive to purchase. Now you've got them a website, they're going to want it to work well with search engines like Google. They're also going to want it to interact well with all social media platforms. And once they start building up email lists and doing marketing, they want it to work with their custom relationship management system, whichever they decide to use. So here are my top 10 challenges and the responses I usually give. So, we want a website that looks great. Well, WordPress layout design is something called a theme. And the theme describes how the website looks. Now you can take a new theme design and apply it to a website whenever you like. You can reapply a different theme design, and the information is rearranged within the rules of the theme whenever you do that. Now this means that themes can be designed by designers and then provided free or even sold to others for them to use on their websites. And all themes have at least some basic sort of customization options, so that even two sites using exactly the same theme are not going to look exactly the same. The second challenge is we want to be able to add and edit content without being a web designer. Well, WordPress has its own content management system built in, which allows you to create, edit content as you wish. If you can use a simple word processor or send simple emails, you will be able to add content. There's also additional tools that have been developed to add more features to WordPress if you want to manage things like image galleries, maybe you want a slideshow, video walls and other types of video pop-ups and things. There are management systems that allow you to use your information and share it with places like Facebook and Twitter. You can have Facebook comments on your pages, you can have Twitter feeds. There are even tools that allow you to design quickly sales or landing pages. The third issue that often comes up is that people want sensible and competitive hosting costs. They don't want ridiculous monthly costs for a site if it's going to be quiet. and they want value for money. Now the good thing about WordPress software is that it uses something called PHP, which works on Windows and Linux. And that means that almost every single hosting company in the world can provide a WordPress hosting package, or maybe a selection of WordPress hosting packages developing across different sizes of sites and different numbers of visitors to those sites. And that wide range of hosting prices reflects a wide range of options, and also with a wide range of hosting packages means this market is very competitive. So whether you have 100 visitors a month or 100 a minute, there is a WordPress website hosting package out there which will be suitable for you. The next main issue for customers is they want to be able to add new sophisticated features. Now, WordPress uses a system of adding code to it called plugins, and there are thousands of developers that have produced plugins. Hundreds of plugins are available, and they will add features to enhance your WordPress website. As they are self-contained plugins, you use whichever plugins you need that makes your site do what you want it to do. And these can be as sophisticated as shopping carts, membership sites, forums, slideshows, email marketing, as well as the more simple things like sharing your page through Facebook. Now, many of the basic plugins are actually free, and even paid plugins are often below $100 licenses, because there is a large market for these plugins, and therefore a developer can easily get their money back and make a profit producing plugins at competitive prices and then selling dozens, hundreds, even thousands of plugins. Some developers make their plugins available for free because it allows them to promote their business, and they can build up their contacts that way. Number 5. We want an open system. We don't want to be tied into a specific supplier, a group of developers, and not be able to use our website elsewhere without having to start all over again. Well, the great thing about WordPress is there is one official version, but there are hundreds of contributors to that code, and thousands test and give feedback to make sure the system works well and efficiently. Because of the openness of the system, it's also easy to migrate your WordPress site from one host to another, even one developer to another. So if you have a WordPress site with a theme and a content designed for you, you are not even tied into the hosting provider. You can move from one place to another as you need to. And because all the code is publicly available, this makes plugins very easy to develop, and therefore encourages more development of plugins and features, and therefore more competition. You can also change your theme, because your theme again is easy to develop, and your host you can change, and you still keep your data. What about the security of the system? WordPress is a very open system. Surely it's going to have security worries. And if the worst happens, I want my system to be recoverable. Well, because the system is open, developers are always looking to make it more secure. And 99% of the faults that I hear about WordPress are conceptual faults worked out by developers, which are then fixed before hackers have even had a chance to develop code to exploit the flaw. I have only ever seen sites that have been hacked because the problem has been already fixed with an update, but that site has not applied the update. Almost all of the experiences I've had have been months and months old, errors that have been fixed months and months ago, but people have not updated their sites, and it's actually very easy. It's just one click to update a plugin or a theme, and really all the horror stories that are produced by people who are anti-WordPress are talking about either theoretical flaws which have already been fixed, or, as I said, problems in plugins that were repaired and fixed and people didn't apply the updates. After all, your Windows computer is not up to date if you don't keep applying all the updates. Your Apple computer is not up to date if you don't apply the updates. If you apply the updates to your WordPress system, it is pretty damn secure. And there are specialist plugins being developed all the time to even add more security. For instance, to stop people just running around the login page trying to guess logins forever and a day. There are plugins to stop that. Nothing is ever 110% safe because things can go wrong, servers can break down. WordPress has another great feature. It's very easy to back up in case a site is lost. Very easy to do so. There are plugins available. Most of the premium hosting companies actually do nightly backups automatically for you, and it's very easy to back up a site, and it's very easy to recover a site from a backup and be up and running again within minutes. So, is WordPress expensive? Well, we've already talked about the software being open source, so the core WordPress code is free. It is run on something called PHP programming language. PHP programming language is free. It uses a database to store information called MySQL. The common version of MySQL database is free. Many of the basic themes and plugins used by most people are free. So, if you keep to that lot, you will only actually be paying for the hosting charges and whatever technical support you wish from the people that are going to help you. And if that is still a problem for you, there is a version of WordPress running on the WordPress.com website which is free. So you can run a basic WordPress website free. Once you have your fantastic website, then people start worrying about things like Google. Does WordPress work well with Google? Well, yes, Google loves WordPress. You see, it's quite simple. There are over 60 million websites using WordPress, so it's in Google's interest to be able to work well and understand what WordPress does. And they do a very good job at doing it, because WordPress knows where the information is that it needs on WordPress, because WordPress is an open source system, and WordPress then knows where the information it will be that it requires. Many of the top websites in the world are actually running on WordPress. Okay, so what about social media? Social media is really big and we need our website to work with social media. Well, many of the themes, the website designs, have special options to work with social media. They may have social media sharing buttons and things like that. There are plugins available that are specifically written to support almost all the social media platforms that you can think of and interactions with them. So examples I've got here, things like sharing your pages or your posts to Facebook or to Twitter, to have a Facebook comment section on your web page, or maybe a Twitter feed in the sidebar. All available for WordPress. For those of us that are getting into the sophisticated world of custom relationship management and email marketing, what support do we have with WordPress? Well, there are plugins already available that allow you to do low volume email marketing within your WordPress site. I say low volume because WordPress is a word processing site and the hosting is for hosting websites, and those sites are not designed for running databases sending out thousands of emails a day, but for low volume, a few hundred email marketing lists, your WordPress site actually can have a plugin to work with it as it is. If you want to work with the third-party applications like Aweber, Constant Contact, MailChimp, etc., there are plugins that allow your website to talk to those, so people can enter their information on your website and then it can update the records so they get emails from your favorite email marketing system. And if you are fortunate enough to move up to the big systems like Salesforce, Infusionsoft or ActiveCampaign, There are plugins that also allow you to take the support and interaction to those systems as well. So that ends my presentation here. 10 good reasons, I believe, why you should use WordPress. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this.